So I'm trying to record videos in English and Spanish because I learned that some of my followers do not speak English. And I love it because I can do both. I wish I could do more than two languages, but I am really excited and I'm very grateful and thankful for all of my followers. So I'm trying to do videos in both languages. Also, not to translate. Sometimes when you translate things, you lose um, the information that you want to provide. In my opinion, it's like that. Like sometimes there are phrases that you can use in English that really explain what you want to say, and phrases in Spanish, and when you translate them, it's not the same. So I made a shake this morning and I'm enjoying it, and I decided to record another video for you because with food, I am having a hard time with food and accepting and understanding everything that happens around our nutrition and the things that are available for people, especially for moms. I moved from New York City to New Jersey. In New York City, my daughters, you don't send breakfast or lunch. The school provides that. In New Jersey, I have to make sure that the girls eat breakfast and that I send lunch every day. Um, However, that is very empowering because I know what I send my daughters to lunch every day and snacks. So also made me more mindful about the things that I am buying for the girls and for ourselves. I remember that in the Dominican Republic, um, La Bella Quisqueya, you usually eat what your mom makes, breakfast and your lunch, and there's not a lot of snacking in between meals. Um, Snacks is something that I learned to do here, but when I was growing up, there was no such a thing. And if you had a soda, it was like once in the blue moon because you had to buy those. And so a lot of the things that I remember is drinking a lot of lemonade, drinking a lot of coconut water, and water. And also like passion fruit, um, papaya shakes, esa batida de lechosa que son tan ricas. So I remember all that. When I immigrated to this country, and my mom used to take me to different places, and even my aunts and uncles, they will make hot dogs and hamburgers. Um, and I used to eat that. And I have to tell you that I fed it to my daughters too. However, after my late husband Ed's passing, I became more aware of certain things. When he was, the day that he passed, that I didn't know that he was going to pass, he was in his childhood. And I believe that he was having like a life review. I did not know then, but I know now based on the research that I am doing. And he was talking about hot dogs. And when he said hot dogs, I went up. I was sitting and I got up and I said, Ed, you do not eat hot dogs. You don't eat meat. And he said, Amore. And he woke up. Amore. When I was a little boy, I used to. And I said, oh, okay. I didn't understand what was going on. I go back and I sit down and he goes back to whatever he was doing. Little did I know, maybe 2 hours later, it passed. I remember that conversation like now, like if I just had it with him. As I am doing research and working on my PhD, I came across information. One of the information was a link between hot dogs and leukemia. Now, I am not saying that the hot dogs that my late husband used to eat when he was a young boy caused the leukemia. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that I had that conversation with him, and when after his passing and I am doing research, I came across that information. You maybe can find some information related to that as well. because it's out there. So I got goosebumps all over, and I said, oh my God, I have to be very aware, because I used to eat a lot of hot dogs too and feed it to my girls because I did not know. I did not know that information. The minute I read that information, I stopped eating hot dogs and giving it to the girls. I came across this application called Yuka. And so I went to the supermarket, and when I scanned the hot dog and salami, because Dominicans like to eat the tres golpes, I don't know if you know, which is salami, fried cheese, and fried eggs. The salami also, nutritional value was under 10, some of them being 0, just like the hot dog. So I started looking for the organic version of the hot dogs with less things, but the nutritional value was like 30 out of 100, and it was ranked as poor. I was like, you know what? I am not gonna eat more hot dogs. I'm not gonna feed it to my girls because of how they make them and what they add to the hot dogs. If it has 0 out of 100, that means that the hot dog that I'm eating is actually helping me feel full and satisfy my hunger, but it's not nourishing my body or my brain. Why would I want to put something like that with additives? And then it tells you, the application tells you the additives to the food that you are eating. And then it's your choice. It's your choice to buy it and eat it and feed it to your kids. And it's also your choice to say, no, I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to feed it to my kids. And so I decided to record this video because I think it's very important that we become aware of the stuff that we are eating and feeding our children and the people that come to visit us here and there. I remember my mom used to make rice, and she would leave it in the fridge for days and then reheat it, and we will eat that. And then I learned, hey, if you eat rice after you make 2 hours after making it, it starts producing a fungus that affects your heart, or can affect your heart. And I think it was a Japanese study. And I said, oh my God, look at that. I learned that. So now what do? I make rice. I make sure we eat it nice and warm. And if there's any rice left, goes in the garbage. Really, it does. I try to make exactly what we are going to eat because I do not like throwing food in the garbage. Why? I also learned that in this country, 30% of what we buy goes in the trash. And food is not trash. The purpose of food is to nourish our bodies. So that's also another thing that I became mindful about and that I'm sharing with you. When you throw away 30%, that's money because you're using money to buy food. So it's like I'm learning so much, and I'm sharing this with you. If you find it interesting, share the information. If you don't find it interesting, just go to the next video. But I feel that it's important because it's something that I truly believe in. All these colorants and artificial flavors and sugars that they are adding to our food, or genetically modified stuff, what our body does with it, I don't know. Doesn't do anything with it. It doesn't know where to put it. It's genetically modified. It's artificial flavors. How is it going to be absorbed? There is so many questions that I am getting answers to that it's just not worth it. Just not worth it to eat stuff that doesn't nourish your body and that can make you sick. So fruits, fresh fruits, vegetables, salad, smoothies, and peanut butter, things that are more nutritious for your body and your brain. That's what I'm recommending. I'm going to continue to read because these magazines and books that I am reading are um, so full of information and stuff that I want to share with you in the future. And there's a fly. Bye bye, fly. Till next time, I love you. Thank you for your support. And I'm sending you a big hug of light and gratitude. Till next time.